How we doing, everybody? So, the Chiefs ended up beating the Packers in the Super Bowl. Um, Sauce lost. Sauce lost in the championship round to the Chiefs, and so yeah. Go over our rosters real quick and who I drafted. We got Tua, Hudson Card, and Sam Ellinger. Hudson Card we drafted, I think in the third round. Let's look at him real quick. He was drafted somewhere in third round, I think. It should have been a third round pick if I'm correct. No, he was a second round pick. We drafted Zach Evans, which ended up being one of our biggest picks. He was also drafted in the second round. I don't know how he stood that long. Literally nobody was taking him. It was nuts. Yeah, second round, 7th pick. So, yeah, we got him second round. 82 overall off the bat, you know, same as Leonard. Very speedish. Might trade Leonard. Might keep him as a 1-2 punch with him. Might trade Berta, you know, save some salary. Berta is one of our faster running backs, but we also drafted Najee, and not as good, but doesn't mean we can't develop him. He has really decent speed. We drafted him in the third round, second round too as well. We picked up David Johnson, moved to a fullback. Marquise Van Scandal, we picked him up, 80 overall, needed him pretty much. You know, we ain't really have no receivers. Westbrook is back. Paris we picked up last year. We picked up QT for his speed and stuff like that. Richie James we picked up last year too. We drafted Keishon Bowie in the second round as well, if I'm correct. No, he was a first round pick. He was one of our late first round picks. Cause I knew I needed receivers, but I didn't think there was gonna be this many good receivers on the board. Other than that, everybody else was last year's draft. You know, everybody pretty much top speed. Don't know if Lynn Boyd Jr. will probably be around much longer. We traded Shoots. They're both 76. He was a little bit older. He was the same as Gleniski, so I was like, I'd rather just keep Gleniski and Irvin since he's a little younger. Picked up Pope. We didn't draft him though. He's a free agent. Everybody knows Puny, who's left tackle, very great. Connor growing up. Mitch Connor, he was a practice person. And then we got Davis, 79 this year, starting off. Will Clapp, 68, growing up too as well, pretty young. Alfonso East, he was a jacked free agent signing. All free agent, just free agent signing, just to have backup in case, you know, if anything happens to one of these guys. Robert Hunt used to be our tackle, moved him to center, just because his speed was a little slower. Him and Kenley, 71 and 75. You know, we'll take that. Austin Jackson, our former left tackle, is now moved guard, and he's not doing so bad. He's finally picked it up. You know, it's helping him out, trying to get his career started off. You know, he was a first round draft pick, kind of a bust, but you know, we put him on the right track. You know, first round pick, 18. You know, but we're putting him to use. We drafted Jake Myers in like the 4th round, I think. 4th round, 3rd round. I think it was 4th round. If I'm correct. He was a center, but we moved him over just because 5th round pick. We moved him over just because you know, he was like a 69 guard. We moved him, I mean, that centers. So we moved him to guard, and you know, we'll just develop him slowly. You know, he's only 21, so nothing wrong with that. And then we got this dude from the he's we didn't draft him. He's a rookie signee, free agent signee. And then we got Alex Letter, you know, our he was what, our second round, like 20 something maybe, or before that from the other last year's draft where I had a bunch of picks. Um, you know, he was a center, but then we moved him around. Yeah, he was our 29th pick. He was almost our second round pick. Moved him around, you know, put him back at a spot he was comfortable at, and he's developed slowly into that. You know, we got Julius Davenport still, you know, out here grinding, you know, trying to make a career as a backup, I guess. We got Javon Sweats. We drafted Glenver Tex in the first round, like 11th, 14th. I think it was 11th pick. He was a tackle, and he's just like basically he can play the line. He has decent speed at any side. Could be a little bit faster for us, but you know we're gonna develop him slowly. Get the outside linebackers in, and we got Alshon Robinson just as backup. You know, Sweats. You know, started from last year, giving him the start again. You know, while we develop and groom Dexter. You know, like I said, he was a defensive tackle, just like Grosha was last year, but I was gonna leave him at defensive tackle just because we're playing the 4-3 now, but I decided, you know, let's put our faster dudes on the end. He'll be on the other side since he's a little bit slower than Grusha was last year. Grusha. But he's a 77 as well. So this dude is, I mean, he's just gonna get nutty, even on the left side, and just run stopper. And then Rusev, you know, he's a beast. He's a monster. This dude ended up with an X factor towards the end of the year. We found out. This dude fucking killed it his first year. He freaking had 12 sacks. Dude was nutty as a rookie. Wish he could have got a little bit more tackles, but we've lined them up kind of everywhere on the line, especially on the left side, just to like kind of push. So it's understandable. He's growing, you know. He's gonna get a second thing once he becomes a 85 overall. We picked up Keemon Turney just because you know his speed and stuff like that. He's a little bit older, but you know he fits into the scheme that we're doing now, the 4-3. And also Choco Tarleton, you know, just to kind of have there. Everybody knows Wilkerson, you know, dude is fucking beast. Um, his speed's gonna help. I know we moved him as well from right end, left end, and stuff like that, but we're gonna truly keep him as a defensive tackle. We're gonna let Gregory. We're just gonna let him keep developing on that, you know, inside, and then try to develop Grover and let out there, you know, kill it. Roquan Davis also growing, still pretty young. He hasn't developed as much as I want him to, but you know, he's gonna turn into a monster. And then we got Brown. Brown is just a pickup that we kind of got now, you know, just to have the run stoppers just in case. Jason Strawberry, he was an end, but we moved him to tackle because he was like a low end, and his speed would probably help as a tackle. And just Bobby Brown's just a pick that we got from the draft. We also got, you know, Andrew Van Ginitsky, you know, our dude's killing. We moved him from right outside linebacker to left. Even though he's a higher overall, he doesn't fit the scheme on the right side, so we moved him just to the left side. Just because he's supposed to be like a pass protector, but he's not because he's a run stopper. Oh, he's supposed to be a run stopper. We'll just develop him into that. He's a speed rusher right now, but we can get him into a run stopper and keep developing him from there. We traded Browser for Alfred Jennings, just because he fit the scheme on this side. He is a run stopper, so we'll just keep developing him. He's young, 2 years in. So we traded also Shaquille Griffin, just get rid of some cap, but at the same time Also, try to get someone who fit the scheme, and you know, Jonathan Green yard is almost there too. So he's 25 as well. Jerome Baker, he's at 84 now. Dude killed it. You know, ever since killing it. 100 solo. He dropped down a little bit in 2020, but picked it up again in 2021. 8 sacks. He was more of a sack type of player, so he was getting blocked more. 2 picks again. But this time he made more plays, so you know can't be mad at that. He has 2 Super Bowl appearances. He appeared last year. One of the top linebackers out there. Douglas Wilson. Um, Logan Wilson. He's also growing. Still there. Keeping it. Everybody else just kind of like picked up in the free agency or traded. Other players they were kind of not fitting our scheme anymore, and got some of these players. Marcellus Brooks. We actually traded him from Sauce. Sauce picked him up in the 2nd round. He was a left eye linebacker. He can play middle. He can basically play anything. But since he fits the scheme on this side, we decided to move him there. He was a 1st-round pick for Sauce, but Sauce wanted a 2nd-rounder because he wanted somebody else, but he wanted time. And he was running out, so he just picked this guy because he didn't really need him. So, and then we traded also. We got a King, Garrison, who's 75, 24, young, but he's already in the scheme, so he fits pretty well. We got you here, Alexander, in the draft. I mean, not the draft. And we got him from shutting down. Um, say he's a shutdown. 99. Somebody who can actually play man for us, because as you could tell, so much raging and getting mad and stuff from just getting shit on. So we picked him up in free agency. We let go of McCann. We traded Jones. They were also big money targets for us. Got Trayvon Henders. Kevin King, hoping to develop him. Oliver as well, we picked him up, hoping to develop these guys. Ned Neeks, he's kind of slow for us. We did draft him. Might just have to trade him. He does play man-to-man though. We did pick up Jalen Jones from Texas A&M because he did play man and he's real fast and stuff. The only thing is, we just gotta develop him. He's not, nothing great. He was actually our 1st-round pick for our first rounders. Yeah, he was our first. He was our first pick, 5th-round pick. We just needed somebody who we can groom and grow. Brandon Jones still up there. We picked up Patrick Peterson. He was a corner, but we did move him to free safety just because he's about to fit the scheme of zone. And my dude can kind of lock up. He still has pretty good man coverage. So if I do decide to do some weird schemes and I gotta run with it, it's not that bad. 73 compared to most. We picked up Lonnie Johnson. He was a strong safety, but we moved him over here. We can also develop him. He's almost in zone as well, Tolles, we drafted. He was a 1st-rounder, maybe? I can't remember correctly. 1st, 2nd-rounder. Maybe 3rd-rounder. Yeah, he was a 3rd-rounder. He was just pretty good. He was a 2nd. He was supposed to be projected a 2nd. He almost runs as well, or run support, so decided, develop him slowly. We got Eric Rowan, 68, he's He's almost our run supporter as well. You know, he almost fits the scheme. Most of these guys almost fit our schemes. Lavonte Davis, we drafted in the 4th round because he was supposed to be like a 2nd round pick or something like that. He was a 1st rounder. Well, he was supposed to be like late 1st round, something like that. Picked him up, really good speed and stuff. Groom him, you know, develop him. He's almost in the scheme as well, run supporter. Well, he's there. He shares it with hybrid. So, and we got Bowden from last year, which he already fits our scheme right away. So, and he's a star. So, just gotta develop our, you know, defense. I mean, So let's get started. You know, play our first game of the preseason, see what happens. We're now new overall, you know. See where we can take this, you know. More of a lockdown D, you know.
Tonight, from MetLife Stadium in New Jersey, it's Sunday Night Football on EA Sports. Daniel Jones and the New York Giants taking on and the Miami Dolphins.
We are across the Hudson from Midtown Manhattan at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Miami Dolphins and the New York Giants. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, and we finally made it, partner, through the winter, through the spring, now into the summer, and football finally back.
And during that time off, we all cherish our vacation time, but admit it, you're the same as me. When you were working out, when you were doing things, you thought about football, didn't you? And you couldn't wait to be back up here again.
And this carries into the end zone, and they will elect to not bring this one out as our first drive will begin at the 25. First go on offense for the Giants under the guidance of Daniel Jones, the former Duke Blue Devil.
What I enjoyed this week is that you asked to talk to his offensive center before the game and find out a little bit more about him and what the relationship is. And that was a pretty positive story, wasn't it?
Yeah, and really what I took away from that is just how it has permeated throughout the entire offensive line, the relationship they've had. It's really a group that's in sync.
They care about him. That's the thing. They really care. And when you care that much, you're going to play that much harder for him and give a better chance to lead the team to wins.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high.
Come on, King.
They don't have great leverage, and they're easily
Come on, King, baby.
to the side. Oh, that was a pretty route right there.
Come on, King, baby.
It's all about finding a window on a route like that. He lined up on his left, ran the deep in route over the middle, and the ball was right where it needed to be. Really good trust between quarterback and receiver. Really good completion.
Damn it.
First down carry for Barkley. Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
From the midfield stripe. They'll look to throw. They'll get this out to Barkley, complete. It's a gain of 5, and it'll be 3rd down. And this is a guy straight out of college. They're not going to try to groom for a year or two. They want him to produce right away.
That's why they took him in the first round. They expect him to be a starter right away and a future all-pro. So they don't have any time to wait for him to come along. They want him to play right now to help this team.
And you take a look at this draft class from a season ago. Really, it grades out as a pretty darn good class.
So you have to give a lot of credit to the entire scouting organization. General manager, personnel department, college scouts, all came together. They evaluated it very well and got a nice payoff.
We're calling a gain of 5 as they move the sticks. 0 hesitation that time. That was get ball, throw ball.
Yeah, turn into a smoke route. If you see the coverage off the receiver, doesn't matter whether you call it a run or not. Just take the ball, get it out to him.
On first down, Barkley. And he's brought down.
Really fucked that one up.
Before he reaches the 8-yard line. He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a first down. You were telling me this yesterday. That's exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game. And it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
3 yards the gain there, second down. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it, they love it, because now everyone gets locked in. Your confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sideline thinking to themselves and expressing, just keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
Calling a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal.
It's now 3rd and goal.
From the gun, Jones.
And at the pick, baby. Good shit, Baker.
Picked off by Jerome Baker. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Dolphins take the field with Tua Tagovailoa, their quarterback from Alabama, at the helm.
It's pretty much become the norm when we see guys come out before a game and go through the route tree with their receivers. I thought it was exciting for us to see the exact same thing happen in practice.
He's so meticulous, isn't he?
He really is, and it's not. That tells me it's not just a one-time-a-week thing. They work on it all the time, trying to hone that fine edge. They want to see if they can get in sync and stay in sync in this one.
They will get 4 yards here on the first down run, and that'll make it 2nd and 6. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
And that's frustrating for a defense because they've got them pinned down deep. And on the first play, they gave up a run that keeps an offense on schedule.
God damn it,
3
dude.
to 4 yards. That's
Fuck.
what you're looking for right there, right?
That's absolutely perfect, really, as a play call. You get 3 to 4 yards on first down. That's what they talk about us all the time, about being ahead of the chains or on target, ahead of schedule. They were after that run.
Incomplete.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
And this one will wind up being down just outside of that 20-yard line.
At their own 23.
So the Giants getting the football back here for their second drive. Well, they were intercepted the first time they had the football, but now they get it back, and it's still 0-0.
And because of that, you know what the thought process is? Interception. What interception? It didn't really happen because they gave up no points. So go back on the attack. Go back and run the offense you believe
There you
will
go.
be successful. Find your playmakers and give them the football.
Officially,
There we
it's
go,
a
baby.
1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Over the middle, taken in. And they get him down,
Damn
but
it.
not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. They'll run on first down. Barkley. Gets a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
From the 45 on second down.
Damn
Jones
it. Yeah.
by Slayton.
It's gonna kill me not having at least Jones or somebody now.
Down at the Dolphins 39. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 39-yard line. Operating from the gun, Jones. Out to the right here to Shepard. And he'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy.
Damn.
Nice pickup.
And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Now this pass into the hands of Saquon Barkley. This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. From the gun, Jones. And he's got it. Touchdown, Giants. Darius Slayton.
Yeah, they're gonna be hitting that side hard.
And the Giants are going to take up first.
They're gonna be taking advantage of our
Good bounce back drive right there through the pick.
weaker linebacker. Corner.
2 leads them right down the field into the end zone.
Agree totally. Excellent bounce back with tremendous poise. Confidence never lost. And obviously he transmitted that to his teammates as well. What a really nice drive.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
So Miami coming out for their 2nd drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency. Move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Fournette, a first down carry. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure you're a back. You spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
And it's 3rd down.
They'll try and run forward with Fournette. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Dolphins, nothing.
And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9. At the Giants, 40.
And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. He'll set up the screen to Fournette. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 33. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. And he'll give it here to his running back. Down to the 30 after a gain of 3.
That's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that field like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here. This has to go down to the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Now they'll have it first and goal following that gain of 17.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4.
Dude, we had
It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up second and goal. Second and goal from inside the 5.
Second and goal.
Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
Third and goal at the 4-yard line.
Oh, he's literally right there.
On top of that imaginary yellow line, but they say he's a bit short. 4 yards, that gets him close to the goal line, but it also brings up a 4th and goal. This is a long drive offensively. Wouldn't you hate to end this with just 3 points?
Doesn't it feel like during a ball game you have certain narratives going on?
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A great play there. Taking it in. And the Dolphins are an extra point away from tying up this football game. It's up and good, and we're tied at 7 here in quarter number 2. So that drive spans 13 plays, and it winds up in 6 points for the Dolphins. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Fielded near the back of the end zone, and he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. Possession of the football going back over to the Giants. And that last drive, so effective in the passing game, resulting in the touchdown. Maybe not many people were focused on the trenches. There was good protection there.
Excellent protection. So now defensively, you've almost got to get down in those starters blocks like you're a sprinter. Get lower than those guys on offense and find a way to roar through them or around them to get into the face of the passer.
Easier said than done, though.
Way easier said than done. But they've got to try something because right now they're just cutting them to shreds.
Now on second down, this is Gurley. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
And he's got him. Got his man on the end route. Complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35.
Oftentimes now offenses aren't nearly as precise as days gone by. They just tell receivers, find an open patch of grass and let the quarterback find you. And that's exactly what they did on that play. First with the pass through the air, nice chunk of yardage there, and then additional pickup with his legs after the catch.
fucking hell.
All the way inside the 15 before they drop it. Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a first.
First and 10 at the 13-yard line.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. This will be caught at about the 5. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
Brings up second and a yard at the Dolphins' 4-yard line.
Now it's Gurley. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line.
But that was a unit that understood exactly where the first down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
They'll try and push it in with Gurley. Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. No gain there, and it's going to set up second and goal.
No gain on
2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on second and goal. Second and 2. And that is caught. He's got it for a giant touchdown. A 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Giants have taken the lead.
You get down near the goal line, this is where having a sure-handed tight end becomes a luxury, and it pays off big time, especially when the defense sells out against the run and he finds himself open for an easy touchdown.
Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And he'll wind up getting a couple extra yards here for his trouble and bringing it out of the end zone as he's down at the 27. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. They trail a one-score deficit, 14-7, as they come up 1st and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10.
At the 26-yard line.
Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 15 yards on the play. 1st down.
1st down, Dolphins.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the 2nd quarter. 14-7. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. Now a pass, and it's complete to QT. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. Complete. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
Oh, that was a nice job there. Quarterback and receiver reading the pressure that was brought. They both knew it was going to open up the middle of the field. Nice little shake and bake in the line.
Smith, come on, son. You got to hold on to that shit.
He was able to run free after the catch.
So 2nd down and 10.
Killing me, dude.
Again, they'll go from the 40.
Fucking killing me.
There's a throw to his running back. It's complete. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is 3rd down. He'll get this into the hands of Breida. And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the first at the 32. So they'll pass on what would have been a 49-yard field goal attempt. And they're going for it on 4th down. And James has it. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts. As the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. That'll be complete to Breida. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. From 13 yards out. And the Dolphins are an extra point away from tying up this football game. CD for them. This has just been an offensive explosion here in the 2nd quarter.
Yeah, held scoreless in the 1st quarter. Now they find the end zone again here in the 2nd. Sometimes you just have to have some patience. A lot of people think it's always an adjustment. You have to change what you're doing. Sometimes you just have to do your game plan just a little bit better. And I think that's part of what we're seeing here.
And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25.
At their own 25-yard.
New York ready to go again offensively. And we're under a minute to go here. What's been an even first half all tied up.
Yeah, still time to make something happen, too. A couple completions, you string them together. Could get into field goal range. Let's see what happens.
Let's go, baby. Sacked by a rookie.
So this has been a lot like a tennis match, hasn't it? Back and forth. Both these offenses
Sacked by the rookie, baby.
So maybe the question isn't who's going to score the most points in this game. Maybe it's who's going to get some stops.
Yeah, absolutely. And that sack, finally a first step in the right direction for a stop. And he will find his man on the outside. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. They'll throw now on the final play. And a throw there incomplete.
Rookie could have had a pick.
So we have reached halftime in our first preseason matchup of the year. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Back to you guys in just a minute as we've started the countdown to opening night. 3 more weeks of preseason action follow this, and then we get it all started. Less than 1 month from tonight. In our game, at the very least, you can't say it's not competitive. All tied up at halftime. And for the call of the second half, we get you back out to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. We have not seen much on offense from either side. These last few drives, it has been a struggle, hasn't it?
Totally, and you're thinking to yourself right now, if you're on offense trying to get things figured out, okay, we self-scout every week on our game plan. How many things do we do at certain times? What are our tendencies? Time to go to some of those tendency breakers and try and create some offense.
They always have those in their back pocket, don't they?
You have to, and if you don't keep abreast of what you're doing, you lock into a rhythm and make it easy for the opposition.
Looking for tendency breakers right now. He'll look to throw. They'll set up a screen for Breida. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Open man is QT, complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Now we've got a giant player here, slow to get up after that last play. Definitely the last thing you want to see here in a preseason game. We'll be right back.
Dang.
The running back.
He's had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4.